I think gay men are all predators. I think gay men are all predators.
No, he doesn't. I'm just using his clip out of context to show you how insane the internet is and how careful you have to be to get to the truth. Read this slide about circumcision and tell me if you think it is child abuse or not. I do. Today we're looking at a video called Normal Gays React to Matt Walsh's Anti-Gay Rant. This is Matt Walsh and these guys are supposedly normal gays. Now let's make sure that we start off by reminding you that all of these people are quite naughty. They all have dead animals inside their bodies. But let's listen anyway to see what's going on in the gay world and in the right-wing world.
Hooray, hooray, hooray! It's time for vegan humor of the day. I'm a little cutie, I'm a little beauty. Tap the like button if you wanna rub my tummy. I'm a little cutie, I'm a little beauty. Tap the like button if you want to rub my tummy.
Because gay couples almost always seem to adopt boys.
I'm sorry, what? That sounds pretty homophobic. What does that have to do with anything, their gender?
I mean, it's not something we're supposed to notice or ask any questions about.
Breaking news, men want sons.
Very good point. Very good point. Check mark for you. But what's in your mouth? What's in your intestines? I want you to be vegan from now on, all right? I want you to be on our side if you're a good guy. And you? Let's see what you have to say.
Right. This has been like throughout all of history.
Hey guys, we're back with another Normal Gays React video. I'm Brett Palumbo here with TikTok extraordinaire Clarkson Lawson. Clarkson, you a big Matt Walsh of the day?
Yeah.
Why did he mute out the word fan? That was weird.
Huge fan. I love his content. I just like to be degraded for who I love on a day-to-day basis. It's one of my mooks.
Oh
Yeah,
boy.
He is not a fan of the gays, it is fair to say. And I've said for a long time, and listen, I do find him occasionally entertaining. I do think he occasionally makes good points. I've critiqued him a lot. I think he has really extreme political views. And one issue where that really becomes clear is whenever he discusses gay people in any capacity.
Yeah, he's pretty mean to the gay people with no real reason, especially considering he considers himself a Christian and is always talking about how he's a Christian. He's pretty cruel. Doesn't sound very Christian-like to me.
Listen to Miss Katie. As long as children have loving parents who teach them the values of compassion towards everyone, that's all that matters.
Especially gay parents. Now, there's this controversy involving a Christian couple who had this gay family as part of their TV show. And a lot of the discussion is among Christians about the faith aspect of it. But I don't want to weigh into that so much because I'm just not equipped to discuss religion or faith.
What? Why are you not equipped to discuss religion or faith? Anybody can discuss religion or faith.
A religious person.
You don't have to be a religious person to discuss religion or faith. X! Nope. That was silly. That made no sense.
I want to talk about just the general commentary Matt Walsh had about gay couples because of this whole controversy, because I thought it was honestly really horrible and horrifying stuff. Let's listen to this first clip where Matt Walsh really just, to me, basically just implies gay people are pedophiles.
Well, that's pretty cruel. That's not okay with us.
Just calculate. Let's listen to this.
Well, there's the problem. Not the black family, but the one we saw right before them. That was the two men and two kids. It's a gay male couple with two children. Two boys specifically, because gay couples almost always seem to adopt boys.
And?
I mean, it's not something we're supposed to notice or ask any questions about.
So I would respect Matt more if he just came out with his chest and said it. Yeah. I think gay men are all predators. Like, stand on business if that's what you mean. But this cheeky little implication that I think is really dishonest and inaccurate. But say what you mean, Matt. We all know what you mean, but say it. Stop
Good point. I agree.
being like cheeky or coy about it.
Right, and it's also just like if he wasn't so clouded by, and I hate saying clouded by his own hatred because I sound woke, but if he wasn't so clouded by it, he would see that the logic is just it's right in front of his face. Two men.
Oh, really? People who miss the logic right in front of their faces. Yeah, we see that all the time in the vegan world. We see people like you, for example, who say that you care about fairness, and you guys walk around and wave the gay flag, and you talk about ending oppression, but at the same time, you're doing that with the innocent corpses of animals inside of your intestines, and you shit them out into the toilet later. Yeah, you're all kind of the same, actually. You know, you, Matt Walsh, I don't see much difference.
Check the ingredients, check the ingredients, do it right away. If it's not vegan, back the fuck away. Don't buy any eggs, any dairy, or any meat. Instead, go grab something vegan when you're thirsty or when you want to eat.
And probably want to have a young boy because they can relate to that young boy more.
Breaking news, men want sons.
Right. This has been like throughout all of history. Men want boys. That's just how it is. Like, it's just...
Most heterosexual man would prefer a son to a daughter. And if they literally could choose, might choose to have a son instead of a daughter. Now, we could discuss, like, the broader ethics of that, but it's not some unique gay phenomenon. And two,
that's true.
It is clearly being used here to imply that they want sons so they can molest them.
That's pretty gross, if that's what he's doing. And I tend to believe you. I think you're right. I think that is what he is implying.
The clear implication here, and that is not true. Obviously, you can find examples, but it is not statistically true that gay people are more likely to harm kids, and the vast majority of gay couples who are adopting sons or having sons through surrogacy are not doing so with some sort of nefarious intent. And I find it really, really objectionable and harmful and toxic that he's just so clearly suggesting that.
Yeah, and it also shows... it kind of discredits anything else he says that has nothing to do with gay people because it shows that he is willing to sacrifice logic at the altar of his religious beliefs.
Okay, very interesting. And as you can see, I'm holding up a card here for them to realize that what they're doing is hypocritical. I want you guys to look at this card. If you ever see this video, I want you to think about it, all right? Why are you loving one animal but not the other? Why are you being cruel to some animals and not others? Think about it.
And like I don't comment on religion too much, but I do wholeheartedly believe that any type of religious belief should be able to be backed up by logic, and a lot of the things in the Bible are backed up by logic. Like I don't know, I'm not gonna go on a tangent. Like circumcision.
Like what?
Was a thing because of hygienic reasons. Like that's logical reasoning behind.
There's no reason to circumcise nowadays.
Miss Katie is right. Circumcision performed on a baby without consent and without a medical reason is just child abuse and genital mutilation.
There's absolutely no reason. We have water, we have soap.
That part of scripture in that specific religion. But with this, he's not providing any of that. He's not providing...
I'm really actually frustrated that you are seemingly advocating for circumcision, which is barbaric. Pinning down anyone and cutting off their body part is not okay. It's okay if you want that done to you when you are over 18, but you have no effing right to do it to a newborn baby, and neither do you. And I hope that what you guys are saying here, I am maybe misunderstanding, but circumcision is clear child abuse. Don't do it.
Miss Katie is right. You should listen to her.
Any logic, it's just straight up hate.
Well, and it's a lot of emotion, and it's a lot of just, this is true because of course it is. Because, it seems that way to me, or it's obvious, it's self-evident. Not a lot of, and I watched this whole segment, to be clear. We just clipped out parts of it, but I watched the whole thing. He doesn't make much data-driven arguments against gay parents. He doesn't make much in the way of like logical reasoning. He just cites broad statements that he asserts are self-evidently true. Let's take a listen to this.
And even if they weren't Christians, there would still be plenty of reasons to object to two men adopting children and to a show that promotes that kind of a...
Why? What's the problem with it?
Every child needs and deserves and naturally has a mother and a father.
I don't think that it's true necessarily that every child needs to have a mother and a father as long as both parents are providing all of the love and education and opportunities to that child?
The mother and father united in marriage are the two pillars that the institution of the family is built upon. To intentionally deprive a child of one of these pillars is an act of unspeakable evil.
Actually, Matt, it is not evil to raise children in a happy home with two healthy, compassionate, level-headed vegan fathers. What is evil is raising children in a home where religious nonsense and fairy tales about a sky daddy are rubbed into their lives and where science and logic are pushed aside.
I think what you are missing, what is truly evil, is that you pay people to hurt little innocent animals. I see this little cow here. This cow wants to live. This cow doesn't want to die. It doesn't want to end up in your stomach. Okay, Matt Walsh?
Listen to Miss Katie. Stop exploiting animals and go vegan from now on.
Tofu doesn't scream. What's really evil is you acting like somebody who wants to adopt a child is wrong just because they were born a certain way, wanting to love somebody of their own gender. That is truly cruel. Shame on you, Matt Walsh.
You were born vegan. You never wanted to hurt them. Return to your roots and be vegan again. Subscribe and press the notification bell.
We understood, which is why gay adoption was illegal nearly everywhere in the country up until just a few years ago. And it was legalized not for the sake of the children, not because it was somehow discovered that it's good or healthy for them to be adopted by same-sex couples, but for the sake of these same-sex couples themselves. It was decided that couples who, by their nature, cannot conceive children still somehow have a right to children, which is a concept that any rational person, even one who isn't Christian, should be able to see as the abhorrent nonsense that it is.
Wow.
That doesn't seem very Christian-like, Matt Walsh. Like, for example, if somebody is born without the ability to see, does that mean we shouldn't give them glasses? If they can't hear, they have no right to a hearing aid? If somebody is born gay, why does that mean they don't get to be a dad?
He started by saying there's plenty of reasons why gay people shouldn't be parents, and then proceeded to provide none of them.
I was just thinking the exact same thing. I did not hear a single valid reason. Let's remind everybody right now, though, there are reasons for you to skip the meat. You see this little sweetheart? See this little sweetheart, this little pig? This pig does not want to end up in a gas chamber. 6-month-old baby pigs are put into gas chambers, and they are turned into bacon, sausage, and ham. So I want you two gentlemen right here, and I want you guys to be vegan from now on, all right? The next video that you make, I want it to be about the reasons to be vegan. Don't get into all of the reasons why you think it is so hard to control your mouth, but talk about the ethics and compare it to coming out as a gay person. You guys should come out as vegans. You should be vegans, and so should Matt Walsh.
Well, he just asserts, of course it's bad. Of course children all need to have a man and a father and a mother, no exceptions, no nuance, ever. It's just obvious. And of course, until a few years ago, by which he means decades, by the way. He means like, we can go back to people in the 70s and 80s even in America raising kids. And so it's not like some super brand new thing. He also does this a lot where he simply cites tradition or history as an argument as to why something is true. So he does this when he talks about the church's teachings on homosexuality, which I don't know enough about to really dispute. But he's like, do you think the church was just wrong for thousands of years? And it's like, now do slavery, Matt.
Right.
Now do slavery. What did the church say about for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, right? It's like there's just the idea. Now, there is obviously some value in tradition and wisdom, but it's not like some trump card. People thought this way for a really long time, so of course it's self-evidently true.
Very good point. People thought that they needed to eat animals for a very long time, and then we realized that it's not true. You don't need to eat animals. You don't need to steal their eggs. You don't need to steal their milk. And you guys should seriously consider, look at this. Look at this cute button I have. It says, give peas a chance. Is that cute? Give peas a chance. Peas have protein. That's right.
Plants have protein, they really, really do. Being vegan is healthy, you know it's true. Plants have protein, they really, really do. So why the fuck aren't you vegan yet? No more excuses for you.
Go ahead and Google some recipes that are vegan and let me know what they are. Come to my comment section and tell me the vegan recipes that you guys have Googled, that you guys have tried. All right? I want to see you there.
Actually, like, that's obviously not correct.
Right, and they also cite this idea that everything that is natural is somehow correct. I've talked about this when debating surrogacy before. It's like there are plenty of things that come naturally to us that we don't partake in, behaviors or even I don't know, diseases.
Absolutely. Like it used to be natural that men would pin down women and have their way with them. That was a natural thing to do, but that doesn't make it right at all. And people used to eat chickens and cows and pigs all the time. And now we know that, you should be eating chickpeas, not chickens. Can you do it? I think you can. Come on, guys. I'm rooting for you.
Be fucking vegan.
Be like Joe Bartolozzi.
Be fucking vegan.
Tap into your empathy.
Be fucking vegan.
Come on and sing the song.
Be fucking vegan.
And Google watchthatvegan.com.
Be fucking vegan.
Be as vegan as possible, start today. Be as vegan as possible, start today. Be as vegan as possible, start today. You can do it. Hip, hip, hooray.
Let's listen some more.
Natural. There's plenty of things that are
hurricanes, earthquakes, plagues, all natural.
That are not good. So
Exactly. They are all natural and not good, not fun. Not everything that is so-called natural is good for us or wanted in our society.
It's really just
it used to be natural, sorry to interrupt you, but it used to be natural that white people thought that black people were lesser than them and they used to enslave them. That was the natural thing to do in some countries, in some times, and we know that this is evil and wrong. And so I'm encouraging you to not be racist towards any animals either. Look at this little sweetheart. You see that? It says, don't hurt animals. Just because people ate chickens in the past or stole their eggs is not a reason to continue doing it, right? There's no reason to hurt animals. There is a reason, though, to protect them. All good men are vegan. All good men protect animals and children. They don't hurt them. I want you guys to be good men, and I want you to come out as vegans, okay? You came out as gay, and now I want you to come out as vegans.
in a logical argument, but a lot of people who have that religious foundation will fall for it because they don't necessarily think it's necessary to They don't think it's necessary to actually look into the things that he's saying and provide logic to back up the belief.
Yeah, and particularly on gay parents here, he's like, it's not like it was suddenly discovered that it's good or fine. Actually, it was. Actually, there's a lot of data and a lot of studies on this. And the few studies that find worse outcomes for kids with same-sex parents tend to have issues where they're looking at families that were broken up, like divorced, and then one of the parents became gay and had a same-sex relationship. That's conflated. When you compare intact two-family stable parents in a same-sex couple to the average, in almost all the data, vast majority of the studies and literature reviews, these kids come out well. In fact, in some cases, on some metrics, slightly better than the typical. Now, that's not because gay parents are superior to heterosexuals or anything like that. It's because only a small slice of the gay community or the lesbian community chooses to have kids, and it's never by accident the way it is with straight people. So you have people who are more affluent, who are more comfortable. We know that it's literally true that kids come out fine or even slightly better when they have same-sex parents.
All right, so that's very interesting. Thanks for mentioning that to us. All right, guys, have we watched enough? Do you guys want to keep going? Look at that, we're at the 9-minute mark. Are you interested in keep on going? If you're not interested, you can subscribe right now and you can press the notification bell and you can go. But I'm sort of curious to keep listening a little bit more. And as I said before, I want all of you guys I want you to be vegan. And the reason you should be vegan is because hurting others feels wrong. Okay? I know you don't want to hurt anyone. I know you want to be kind to people, so I want you to be vegan from now on. Let me know in the comment section 10 vegan foods that you ate this week. It's pretty easy. You can just mention any veggies, fruits, nuts, or seeds. You guys can do it. Stop breeding animals just to eat them. Stop creating them just to be cruel. Stop breeding animals, don't fucking touch them. Stop being an asshole, that's the golden rule. There's no excuse for animal use. An animal is not a commodity. Not a chicken, not a cow, not a pig, not a goose. Where the hell is your empathy? Be a decent human being. Stop being so fucking mean. Stop eating meat, dairy or eggs. If you're hungry, grab a fork and eat your own legs. Stop breeding animals just to eat them. Stop creating them just to be cruel. Stop breeding animals, don't fucking touch them. Stop being an asshole, that's the golden rule. No, the chickens, pigs, and cows won't overpopulate if we don't breed them in the first place. Vegans protect the animals and the planet. The only overpopulation is the human race. Follow that vegan teacher on YouTube.
Miss Katie's right. You need to be vegan for the animals right now.
This whole thing, like, we did what? We suddenly discovered it was better? Yes, they started doing it. We had a natural experiment. We've seen how it worked out, and it worked out just fine. You just deny that data or bury your head in the sand because it violates your feelings. And on this point where he's like, every child has a right to a mother and father, and you're doing something evil by depriving of them of that. I think it is kind of insane to tell a gay couple who opened up their home and their lives to adopt children that they're doing something evil by adopting children.
I agree. I think it is evil to say that. I think it is really cruel. I think that gay people have just as much of a right to adopt as anyone else, and I think that they can be just as good parents. It all depends on the kind of person that they are. It all depends on what kind of values they teach to their children, whether they expose their children to a lot of different sports and healthy foods, and to a lot of love and hugs and kisses, and raise them in good neighborhoods and that kind of thing. What kind of parents are they? If they are the kind of parents who read to their children and make sure their children read back to them, and they help them with their schoolwork. I mean, there's so much involved, and gay parents can be just as good as any other parent.
Especially when you are a multimillionaire Christian who, as far as I can tell, has adopted 0 children, right? Even though that is a big part of something that many Christians, I know many Christians who've adopted kids after having biological kids, and it's something they feel compelled to do by their faith, by whatever. And I wouldn't normally say that if you weren't literally suggesting that people doing something very selfless and good are being evil.
Exactly. And Matt Walsh has actually 6 children. And so if he really is a good Christian, he should have adopted some children instead of creating more children on this planet who are just going to be overpopulating the planet and using more resources. And because Matt Walsh is not a kind person, he is feeding his children the bodies of innocent animals. And I would like to remind Matt Walsh that caring is for everyone, and that Matt Walsh should be vegan. He should not be hurting animals, and he should be raising his children to be vegan, to be kind. Real Christians are vegan. It clearly says in the Bible, thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not steal. Matt Walsh should not be eating the body parts of innocent animals. And that goes for you guys as well. Now, you guys I don't think are Christians, but you should have their values when it comes to those 2 points. Do not pay anyone to kill on your behalf. Do not pay anyone to steal the body parts of anyone on your behalf. Do not wear leather. Do not wear fur. Do not wear feathers. Do not steal their milk or their eggs or their freedom or their babies. Do not forcefully impregnate the females. Don't do that. Be vegan from now on, guys.
And yet you have somehow not found the time or the resources to do that, despite being a multimillionaire.
Right, I'm glad you brought up that point because I was going to bring it up too. Yeah, I mean, it's cognitive dissonance. That's all it is.
Oh, interesting. He's mentioning cognitive dissonance, which is what a lot of these people go through who have meat inside their brains. They think that they are good people. He probably thinks he's a good person. He probably does too. And he can see the cognitive dissonance in others. But for some reason, these people have a hard time seeing the cognitive dissonance in themselves. Read with me. Cognitive dissonance is the mental gymnastics you do when your actions don't align with your values. When it comes to veganism, you say you love animals, yet you pay for them to be mutilated, raped, caged, and slaughtered. You'd never slit a dog's throat for a sandwich, and you'd be outraged if someone did it to a cat. Yet you see no problem doing the exact same thing to pigs, cows, chickens, or fish.
animals who also feel pain, fear, and love in the same way cats and dogs do. That contradiction, protecting some animals while funding the torture of others, is the best example of your hypocrisy, and until you face it, you'll keep living in denial of the violence you're directly responsible for.
Here's something for you to think about. Look at this one. Can you see that? It says, eat fruits, not friends. You cannot be a good person if you are paying somebody to hurt the innocent animals. You don't need to eat cats or dogs or pigs or chickens or cows or sows. You don't need to eat anyone.
Listen to That Vegan Teacher. Go vegan for the animals now.
Eat fruits, not friends. Give peas a chance. Eat chickpeas, not chickens. Go vegan for life. Eat fruits, not friends. Give peas a chance. Eat chickpeas, not chickens. Go vegan for life.
When you said he's burying his head in the sand, that's exactly what he's doing. There is data, there's plenty of evidence that he can look into to disprove his points, but, you know, people don't want to do that. And then they just keep spewing it, and he's got an audience for it. It's really unfortunate because the pendulum is swinging back. And unfortunately, it's going to be people like him that initiate a little bit of damage that could potentially be done to the gay community, especially in the realm of surrogacy and parenting in the next few years, which is something that I am a little bit worried about.
Speaking of eggs, let's watch this. The egg industry is just a cycle of misery. They lie to you endlessly. Don't buy eggs, walk away. Go to egg-truth.com today. All good people are striving to be as vegan as possible. Don't eat eggs.
The radical Christian right have lost their minds. I know that you guys don't consider yourselves to be woke people, and I understand why. I know what's happened in your community recently with trans people who have done so many bizarre things, and the world has turned against many of you because of that, but that is not a reason for you guys to give up. And I just want to let you know that many of us are supporting you, and we think that, for example, I think you would probably be a great parent, and I think you would too, as long as you are open to feeding your children healthy vegan foods, whole foods, and that you do not harm them along the way by taking away their vegan virginity. Now, you're probably wondering what the heck that means. But that means that you must maintain your child's vegan virginity by not forcefully giving them foods that they do not consent to. That is the body parts of innocent animals. Over here, I have this that I use in my TikTok lives. You see that? It says, your vegan virginity was stolen from you. Now that's true. Somebody forced dead bodies into you when you were little. You never consented to having your parents kill a chicken or a cow or a pig or a horse and then feed it to you. Neither did you. None of you did. And so it's our obligation not to take away the vegan virginity of our children. Now, I know it seems weird to you because the word virginity is there, but this is not a sexual thing I'm talking about. I'm talking about being kind to children and giving them whole foods, healthy foods. And when they get older, when they're over 18, if they want to eat the body parts of innocent animals, well, then you have at least done your job teaching them and treating them with dignity while they were young. So don't take away the vegan virginity of anyone.
Wash away your old life, be vegan today. Jump into your new life, it's the only way. Wash away your old life, be vegan today. Welcome to heaven on earth. Happy Vegan Declaration Day.
Let's keep listening.
I think it's interesting because they talk a lot, and in this case we're talking about adoption, right? He was railing it, and I think the surrogacy conversation is a little bit more complicated, though I ultimately don't agree with the Matt Walsh position on it all. But the argument that you are depriving a child of having a mother and father has always struck me as so bizarre in the surrogacy case, or in not surrogacy. For example, one of my good friends from college has two moms, so they had a sperm donor and they had her. By this logic, right? And she's had a great life. She's heterosexual, by the way. She didn't come out gay. She's a teacher. She's, contributes to her community. She's worked with special education people. She's getting married. She's thriving in every way. The idea that she was like deprived of having a father and she wouldn't exist. The alternative is her not existing.
Okay, I am not sure that that is the argument. However, I think that what you could think about is this way. Let's say you are raised by somebody who doesn't have a whole lot of money. You could say, well, I have been deprived of having a mother and a father who were rich. Or let's say you were raised by parents who didn't have the best genes, who had allergies that they passed on. You could say, well, I was not raised with the best parents because they had allergies and they passed them on to me. So anybody can complain about their parents. Anybody can complain. Gay people, straight people. It has nothing to do with the gender of the parent. It has to do with the kind of person that they are. If you are raised, for example, by lazy parents who are messy and don't teach you the values of cleaning up after yourself, or if you are raised by parents who are 550 pounds each and you don't learn the values of proper eating to be healthy and to exercise, you could also complain and say that you were raised by terrible parents. But I think that those things that I mentioned are maybe more worth looking at than the fact that you were maybe raised by two women or two men.
Fine, ask her. And I've talked to her about this. Like, well, do you feel like you were deprived of having a dad? It's like there's no alternate universe where she exists but has a dad. It's either she doesn't exist at all and her wonderful, beautiful life never happens, which, by the way, according to her, she's never really felt some void from not having a dad in her life. But regardless, this idea that, it's evil to intentionally create a child without a mother or father, like, tell that to the child that would literally not exist otherwise. Is there any person in the world alive today who would say, oh, I really wish I didn't exist at all because...
Yeah, maybe not people, but I think some people. Yeah, actually I do. I think some people, and certainly animals. Animals on factory farms would rather be dead than live the lives that they are, of complete pain and torture from the moment that they are born till the moment that they die. And that is something that you guys should think about. There are factory farms far away from you that you have never seen, where animals are being tortured, forced to be pregnant. Cows are put into places where they are tied up and their babies are stolen. The babies in the dairy industry are stolen. And there are many, many animals who suffer terribly. There is something worse than death, and that is a life of confinement and torture and fear, where your babies are stolen, or your skin is ripped off of you, or your feathers are ripped off of you, or where you see your family members being taken away who never come back. I would argue that that is worse. Well, that's all for today. Thanks a lot for being here. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye for now.
Let's follow that vegan teacher on YouTube right now. Let's help her save every chicken, pig, and cow. Let's follow that vegan teacher.